and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report for Thursday, January 19th. Show number 264. Scott Hammer, Ron Miller over there.
I wonder if there's anything significant about 264. It seems like a whole lot.
I don't know. A lot. Coming at you from the Facebook, or coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter from the John Young Racing for First Responders. I'm sorry, John Young Racing, Racing for First Responders, and Dave Kemmer studio. Did you get all that?
Mouthful,
It
Scott.
is. Tonight on the show, we're going to be speaking with the owner of the Ohio Wheelman Series, Will Wiggins.
Yeah.
Once again, we last spoke to him, I believe it was August last year. We had him on with a few other people.
Right.
So tonight, just going to focus on that, the Ohio Wheelman Series. We got some Big D's Pizza to give away a little bit later on tonight. A lot of news.
I had the privilege of watching the Wheelman Series at Sandusky, and we'll talk about that.
When did you catch that?
I forget when it was this summer, but I very much enjoyed it. They put on an awesome show.
You got out to Sandusky on a Saturday night?
Maybe.
Huh. Oh, that's right. You didn't race this. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it all makes sense. I understand now. Make sure to contact Freeze Frame Photos for all your racing photo needs, from action shots to victory lane. They have new items, including those custom kids cups, the 20-ounce tumblers, water bottles, and more. You can get them customized with Freeze Frame Photos, any of the photos that they have. Get that on the graph or on the item, the cups, the tumblers, whatever. They got some cool racing graphics to throw in with that as well. If you can think of it, they can do it. Call Charlie, 419-476-9978. Freeze Frame Photos, special moments frozen in time.
I need to get a hold of Charlie. I need to find out if he can still do calendars. I don't like my generic calendar hanging there.
You need a custom Ron Miller
I
race
do.
cards one? Okay.
Again.
I bet you can do it. Oakshade Raceway, where the fastest meet to race every Saturday night after April, the end of April.
Right.
Not now. Don't go there this Saturday.
What's the schedule looking like, Scott?
It's looking like we're going to race every Saturday night.
After the end of April.
After starting with the Bill Reckner Memorial on the last Saturday in April. Summer Nationals birthday race coming up mid-July. Yeah.
Suppose the late models will be there in April?
Yeah. I think, well, no. April, that was a trick question. I was thinking you were going to ask if Summer Nationals. Like, well, yeah. April? No, probably not. I'm thinking that.
Oh, I don't know.
You know, I was told one of the reasons that they don't run the late models opening night, and this was years ago, so the reason might have changed. It was because it's opening night, and they used to line up the bombers at the time. They were bombers, not
right.
super stocks, to tech them. So they had to tech all them. They had to get everybody's names entered in the computer. And with the 4 divisions, it took extra long, and it was hard to get to the 7 o'clock start time.
Was that before you were announcing, or
no? That was.
I mean, it's been a long
That was
time.
the first half of my career as announcing.
Okay.
How's that? We'll go with that and leave it there. Also, thanks to Big D's Pizza, Ron Miller Race Cars, Headhunters, Barber Studio, and Salon sponsoring the program. A little bit of racing roundup before we get to Will Wiggins. We kind of skipped this the past few weeks. We got so preoccupied with everything. So we got some racing action to recap for you here.
Racing Roundup.
There I am.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't in the stream. I don't know where I was. Getting click happy here. The Wild West Shootout a couple weeks ago. Didn't get this. Actually, that ran, the previous weekend and this past weekend,
right.
And Wednesday in the middle of that. Previous weekend, Jonathan Davenport picked up the win Saturday. He also picked up the win that Sunday. Then he won this past a week ago Wednesday. And then this past weekend, he didn't win. Yeah, it was Bobby Pierce and Mike Marlar. Bobby Pierce Friday, Mike Marlar Saturday. Main event, Bobby Pierce again.
Scott, Sunday's race, their finale, could have been the best race I have.
And that was the one I missed.
I have ever watched.
And that was the one I missed. I was having some internet issues, so I did not catch that.
If Flow Sports has that archived, you need to watch.
That's what I've been told. And Kyle Larson, He was in the mix every night, but was unable to get a victory in any.
It was an amazing race
6 of those
to watch.
events. Yeah, and Rusty Schlenk was down there. He had all kinds of bad luck. Broken motor, broken rear end. Chili Bowl Nationals this last week. We had Ken McIntosh pick up the win on the opening night of that a week ago Monday. Cap Henry finished 18th in that. Tuesday, it was Hank Davis after Buddy Kofoid crashed while leading. Actually, it was a crash that happened in front of him, and he kind of was committed to the high side and tried to ride the wall around it and broke something.
It was a good try.
It was a good try. You're defending Chili Bowl Nationals champion there, so he had some bad luck. Darren Nida ended up crashed 24th in the B main, also on Tuesday night. Wednesday night, it was Rico Abreu. Thursday night, Tanner Thorson. Taylor Ferns, former guest on the show, finished 5th in the B main, and Anton Hernandez was 16th in the feature. Friday night, Logan Seavey. And then the main event, once again, Logan Seavey picking up the Chili Bowl Nationals championship there. So congratulations to him. Some racing down under in Australia. Cole Macedo came from 9th starting position and finished 3rd on the final night of the 25th National Sprint Car Open at Brisbane's Archerfield Speedway. On Saturday, Carson Macedo claimed the preliminary night feature by leading every lap. So we had Cole and Carson there.
Right.
Carson getting the victory. Corey Eliason, he's poised to claim the Western Australia Speed Week title after a dominant performance in rounds 5 and 6 of the series. The visiting driver has claimed 4 of the 6 features. So some of our American sprint car drivers at least, doing some good down in Australia.
Yeah. As Veronica told us last week, there's no American late model drivers headed over this year. But I guess they're going to work on that for 23.
Next year. A lot of racing going on this year, though.
Oh, you bet.
Here in the States. So, I mean, maybe that's a reason some of the guys didn't go there.
Could be.
It seems like racing season's year round. But anywho, how about we bring in Will Wiggins, the second, the owner of the Ohio Wheelman Series, started a few years ago. So let's pop him in here.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Will, how's it going?
Will.
Great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on again. Last we spoke, the Ohio Wheelman Series was kind of a growing asphalt street stock series. 2020, I think you did a few races. 2021, things started coming together. Oh, wait, 2021 was, I don't even know what year it was. You started in 2021, right?
2020.
2020, okay. It's just been growing. That's my point.
Yeah, so this will be our 3rd season.
Okay.
You know, I've got my
So
pulse
2021. So
I've
you
got
were
my
right.
pul-
20,
Okay, I thought I was right.
I've got my pulse on a lot of racers, and there's a whole lot of interest in your series, and guys are thinking real seriously about committing to it.
yeah, it's honestly humbling. I started this and never imagined in a million years. I mean, we've got guys registered as far as Florida, as North Carolina, South Carolina, of course, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Michigan. All around, mostly Ohio boys, but I mean, we've grown a lot of interest over the last 2 years. It's been pretty humbling, to be honest. I never imagined to get this big.
Give us a little history of the Ohio Wheelman Series for some of our listeners who may not be familiar with it.
So we're Ohio-based street stock series. Northeast Ohio street stocks were kind of dying, and they were averaging 5-6 cars a night, and I kind of just took it upon myself to figure out why and where and who and what can I do to help. And that's kind of how the series was born. I put on a couple shows in 2020. They were pretty successful. So I just went full bore in 2021. And, my first show I ever put on with the series title, we had 4 cars show up. So I always joke about that with people because most people don't know that story, but there was several promoters there that had booked us that year. And they all were looking at like, Will, what is going on? Thankfully, it rained out, and we came back with 15, and it was a great show. But it was just we learned it was a little too early for everybody to, April was a little too soon. So guys were still building and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, and so we travel. We started mostly in Ohio, and we started getting interest from other tracks around Michigan and Indiana and Pennsylvania. And this will be probably our biggest, most premier facilities we'll be at this year so far. well, in my opinion, is our best schedule that we've had yet. So we're super excited to have some of the tracks we do have and the partnerships we've built over the last couple of years.
What are some of the new tracks on the 2023 schedule you have?
Man, so how exciting. We start 2023 off at Jennerstown. A
Whoa.
big track. That's going to be a big track for the series. It's going to be a lot of banking for some of these boys in Ohio that are used to some of these flatter tracks. And, it's going to be awesome. We're expecting anywhere between 20 and 30 cars, if not more. And I know a lot of the guys up there in Pennsylvania are real excited. They're calling me, asking about questions, and their cars fit right into the rules just about. So it was kind of works out well. But that's going to be a pretty big deal. And then we got Anderson Speedway. So we go from well, I believe a 5/8 down to a 4/10, I believe is Anderson or somewhere in there. And so that's going to.
Anderson's got a lot of banking. It's a track where you can't take a break. You're on the wheel the whole time.
Yeah. So I was told by many drivers that you're on the gas and brake at the same time. You never really lift. So it's going to be fun to watch. Another new one's Toledo. Me and Schultz got together and had, we probably 3-4 months it took us to find a date to try to work out a deal. And obviously with running 2 facilities and 1 limited, it was very tough to find a date that worked with us and them. And, but we're excited to be at Toledo for the first time and Berlin. So really 4 premier facilities we're starting the year off with. And really, I just told you the first 4 races of the schedule. So,
Wow.
So at Toledo, are you guys going to be running the half mile or the quarter?
oh
mile?
yeah. Yep. Half mile.
Yeah.
We made sure everybody this year updates their they have to have safety hubs, for obvious reasons. So everybody's been buying and getting their cars updated for safety reasons and really haven't had any kickbacks on it. I mean, so that's real exciting.
What's some of the differences in the rules between the Ohio Wheelman Series, Super Series, stock cars, whatever you want to call them, and the street stock class at like Flat Rock?
So carburetor, tires, mostly weight and percentages, and that's mostly it. Now there are some tracks up there in Michigan and stuff that allow 3 links with street stock still, and we don't. So it has to be a 4-link, has to be a stock chassis. You can't marry chassis, I guess is what I'm saying. You can't take a Camaro and a metric clip and marry them together. So it's got to be consistent chassis wise. You can shorten it. If you've got a Chevelle or something, we do let guys cut them down to 108 inches. But really that's it. I mean, guys can come race, they got to buy a 500 CFM carburetor unaltered. That helps with the tires. We run Hoosier Comanches. So, anything more than that on a built motor, you're going to be spinning them anyway. So, but they're just minor stuff, really. I mean, guys got to put in a little work, move lead, make adjustments for percentages, for left side weight, rear percentage, I think it's the same. So it's just moving some lead around and a little bit of work.
I've noticed that you seem to be pretty easy to get along with as far as cars traveling to be with you, and you seem to be able to make them pretty equal.
Yeah, I mean, my goal with the series was to not have one guy stand out. I wanted to make sure the rules were tight enough to where guys could afford to do it. No more, number one. Number two, that we didn't pin guys down was particular motors or carburetors we do, I guess, but intakes and different things. You're allowed to, I know guys that have raced for 30 years that got modified motors and, street stock motors. And, well, if you hurt one or we need a little bit more horsepower, you can grab something off the floor, throw it in the car and come racing. There's different penalties based on what you have. So I tried to make it open to where guys can come from all over the country and race for big money with, limited laps at some of these premier tracks we're getting, and that's kind of where we're at. We don't necessarily turn guys away, but we do try to work with teams, but there are things that just unfortunately we can't allow, and guys are mostly understanding.
And you mentioned the pay. That's one thing I wanted to ask you. I think $2,500. That's the lowest winning amount for the series.
Well, 2,000. 2,000.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
still 2,000. I mean, that's pretty good. And
it's not chump change.
Yeah. Mike, for a street stock class, and that's my next question is, when you go to these tracks, are you guys the premier class for the night, or is it more? Are you more of a support class?
So it's actually been pretty cool. So the first year we started, we were a support class. Guys didn't know who we were or what kind of field we were going to bring or what kind of, if it was going to be a crash fest or not. And So we started off as just a filler, really, and we had a couple premiere shows, but really, I mean, I don't think there's a place we're going this year, with exception to maybe Berlin, that we're not the the premier division for that race or that event.
Now, is that, I'm guessing that
And
probably doesn't bother you then.
no, I mean there might be another one like High Miler. That's a pretty big deal. We're not quite super modifieds, but
Well, you have the Trifecta Nationals, I guess. So that's 3 events at Sandusky that are paying $5,000 to win.
yeah, so that's huge.
It is.
We're paying back from 5,000, 2,500, 1,500, 1,000. I mean, we're not paying $5,000 to win and then $1,000 or so.
It's
We're
not.
trying to pay through the field.
They're not Dolly Parton payoffs.
Right, correct.
I get that reference.
Thanks, Scott.
We try to, this is a traveling deal, and everybody that's involved in racing know it's expensive already, and it's just became extremely expensive. So I tried to pound pavement, get sponsors to kick in and help, and we come with 60% of our own purse money. That's what makes it great for facilities. It's a win-win. They can maybe make a few bucks. We get it. We put on a big show for them, and we build our name and the series logo, I guess. And it works for everybody. But that's how we get our purses. It's funny going to places and seeing guys who are like, man, I run late models for less money than that. This is crazy. We'll go sell that late model and come race with us. And I can name 3 guys that are racing the series this year that have done simply that, sold late models and built street stocks. The one team, I believe they're up to 5 street stocks now with all the late models they sold. So it's pretty awesome to see, guys come from all over and most people call it a downgrade to street stocks for modifieds and late models, but that's where they had the most fun, they say. So
How has the fan response been to the series?
Oh, it's incredible. So, I never really realized, I didn't really pay much attention. The first year I raced the series and ran it, and that was extremely tough. And I realized to make it really successful and make it a go, I had to step back from the car and focus on running the series and rubbing elbows with, people in the stands. And we average about 100 to 150 traveling fans as we go around, which is incredible if you ask me. And it tells you the fans that we show up at these tracks. I mean, we sell $2,000 to $3,000 worth of shirts and hats while we're there. That was our average for the season. So, we have fans all over the country now, and we have a couple from Michigan that I call our super fans, but, they've traveled from Michigan. They've seen us at Kalamazoo last year, our first race, and followed us to every event after, all over everywhere we went, which is pretty cool.
Are you going to have to change the name from Ohio Wheelman Series to Midwest Wheelman Series or something?
I might, I get some feedback, kickback on Facebook, of course, but they're like, well, how come you only got all your races are out of state or this or that? And I'm like, well, we're based in Ohio, but half of our races are technically in Ohio. So we're not, however you want to look at it. I don't know. That's kind of where we started. We may tweak it over the next couple of years as we build, guys from all over the country and stuff, and, more tracks and facilities.
One of our listeners has a Fremont race truck, wonders if you would entertain allowing a Fremont leaf spring truck to race with you.
I guess my suggestion would be to read through the rules and then highlight any areas that you might have questions on, and then give me a call. Reach out to me. I'm very easy to work with. I'll talk to you, and we'll go through it. I know there are trucks out there that are legal to our rules. There are some that aren't, so we can certainly discuss what you have and the question and the, I guess, gray areas, if you will, and go over that. No problem.
I'm sure that your payoffs have some of the guys pretty interested.
Yeah, we're getting pure stock guys asking, well, how slow do I have to, how far off am I going to be, and I'm like, well, you're going to be pretty far off,
Are you pulling any drivers that race on dirt to convert over to the asphalt?
Not yet. Not that I know of, I can say. Other than I believe I do have one guy that has a dirt truck that might come run with us. I believe he's legal to the rules, his chassis. So other than that, no, I don't. Not that I personally know of. Now, there might be guys with multiple cars, that run asphalt and dirt. Some of these guys I haven't heard of that are racing, that are registered this year. So it's pretty awesome, man. It's exciting. I'm at the shop right now working on my cars, so you can hear the guys in the background.
Do you still race then? I thought.
Yeah, so I raced. So this is crazy. So I raced last year. I ran the series, and then on off weekends and Friday nights before the series, I was able to run locally for a championship, and I missed by 2 points. Came in second, still missing races, and racing on Friday nights. Man, give it off to my crew and my buddies. We'd race Friday night and then take the car apart and switch it over for one of my drivers and scale it and put new tires on and load it in the box and get 2-3 hours of sleep and then drive to Ona or wherever we're headed, all Kalamazoo or wherever we're going to race again the next day. So
no problem with Hoosier supplying the Comanche tires.
no, I mean, I stayed I'm a little OCD about it. I knew there was a problem, so I tried to buy any and every one I could. And I stayed, we didn't go without any. Guys showed up at my events. They were able to buy, what they wanted for the most part.
What's the website where they can find the rules?
It's OhioWheelmanSeries.com.
Easy enough. And I was checking that out. I noticed there's Ohio Wheelman Modifieds. What's up with that?
So, as you know, as the series grew, I had every division coming up to me as we're at their local tracks. They're saying, "Man, how come you don't run a Wheelman front wheel drive division, or a Ohio Wheelman Modified, or Ohio Wheelman late models?" Everybody had their own ideas to try to add to the series, and of course, I listened and talked and chatted with guys. And again, the reason I started the series was to save street stocks in Northeast Ohio, and that was the original intent. And it's kind of just exploded. Modifieds are kind of in the same boat now, and so I had quite a few drivers reach out to me and say, "Man, you could really save us and give us a place to race." And so I had a sponsor reach out to me and say, "Hey, if you put this together, I'm willing to give you X amount of dollars." And I kind of thought about it for a couple of weeks and can talk to more drivers and more teams and more people, and got a group of guys to commit. And we put a great purse together. We got 4 races the first year. See how it goes. If they commit, and I've got 15 to 18 modified showing up, we'll, give them a 10 race schedule the following year. But we're going to follow Midwest modified rules. We're going to run F70 tires on those, and we're going to run 4 races. The first 3 are 1,500 to win right now. I mean, that's where we're starting. I haven't really got into super much with sponsorship on the modified yet. We're trying to complete the street stock deal, and
so that's at least 1,500.
At least 15, 300 to start for the first 3. The final race of the season will be at Sandusky Speedway Cavalcade. It'll be 5,000 to win, 500 to start. So these aren't going to be chump change payouts either. So we're excited.
That's where's the first 3 races at then?
They're all 4 at Sandusky. That's our home track.
Okay.
They're the one rolling the dice and taking the risk. They pretty much said, "Hey, man, we're back. We support anything you touch, and if you want to run with this, we believe you'll make it work, and we'll book you 4 times." And that's basically what we do with the street stocks as well. We got 4 shows there with those, and so they said, "Give us 8 shows, 4 with each, and we'll see how it goes." Yeah. But I'm expecting it to be very well, though. I mean, we'll probably get 18 or better on average, but we'll see.
We like
That's
those
a
guys.
great field.
We like those guys over at Sandusky. They do some pretty cool things and willing to take chances on things. So
yeah, I mean, they've helped me out.
Are you going to have any midget wrestling?
No, I'm not into that. I mean, they might there, but I'll go watch. I mean, if Chris is going to wrestle anybody, I'll go watch.
He said he wasn't going to do it anymore. So
he's easy. We can persuade him. We got D's Pizza on the hook. We can probably get him donate some ribs or something to Chris. He'll do it.
Gotcha. Is there a points championship fund?
Yeah. So we do offer. We had some late model guys come to our points championship just to check it out, and some sponsors and stuff this year. And I make a big deal about it. If you've seen our awards, we staged the top 3. We do big deals, but the champion this year got $2,000, a 7-foot custom trophy with the MPI steering wheel mounted to the top. He got 4 brand new Hoosiers for 2023. A giant poster made for his shop, with all of his stats on it for the year and so on and so forth. But we do give out trophies and stuff to the top 10, plaques to the 11th back, and we pay out the top 20. So it was 2,000, 1,000, 750, 600, 500, 400, 300, and I think it was 275, 250, 200, all the way down to 20th position. I think paid $125 or something. So we try to make sure everybody's touched and gets the recognition. And it takes a lot of money to do this, and we truly race for awards and stickers and trophies. So
I guess, where do you see the Ohio Wheelman Series going long term, like 5 years down the road? I mean, just these last few years, the series seems to have grown by leaps and bounds. I mean, is it going to keep getting bigger? Is it going to become the USA Wheelman Series or what?
I mean, I don't know if we'll completely travel the country. I mean, I've got some tracks from Florida interested and some other, obviously some other states, and it's a little far from Ohio. So I don't own a big enough plane to get these guys their cars over there and stuff, or haulers. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I as the series grows and we continue to get support, this year we're expecting that I would say an average field of 30 street stocks and 15 to 18 modifieds or better. It's going to be successful and huge. And I think we'll gain more and more interest nationally as we continue to grow. And, who knows? I don't know. Would I add more to it? Maybe. My staff might kill me, but we'll see. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm always open.
New Smyrna in the middle of the winter could be pretty interesting.
I'm open to. I would not be mad to be in the beautiful sunny weather in the middle of winter. But I mean, there's interest. I would consider some out of town shows potentially as this grows. We'd like to keep it as close as we can to Ohio and surrounding states. I mean, there's a ton of tracks around. So,
what kind of format for a regular night's racing program is there for the Ohio Wheelman Series? Are there heat races, B mains, and feature, or how many cars start the feature as well?
So that's a really cool deal. So we actually, I grew up old school. My dad raced in the '80s, and my brother raced in the '90s, and still races. And I grew up watching dashes and heats and the whole deal. So we run them. Tracks love it, fans love it. They're like, man, it's so cool watching the top four run side by side. It's granted, it's only 4 laps. All my guys, they all look at it as an extra set of hot laps. So. They go out and put on a show, and it's a lot of fun. But so we run dashes and heats. We usually run dashes as top 4 laps, and then we run the heats as usually 8 cars, 8 laps. Unless we got to tweak.
So you qualify too, right?
Oh yeah, there's qualifying. Okay. Usually it's single car because we're the premier or the main event. So they'll single car qualify us unless time permitting, I should say. And then so we'll get the dashes, the heats, and then we'll run a main or a B main if necessary. We have qualified in through the heat races as well, which is, it just depends on the promoter of the event we're at and if they've got time and what they want to do. And, so we'll try, we'll do a little bit of everything depending on what's available at the facility and how much time we have. A B main takes a lot more time than running heat races through picking out the top 2 out of the heats and adding them to the feature. And we'll start, we advertised 24, but we've started up to 32. Cars. I won't send people home, I guess is my point. Okay. If we've got extra cars, we'll come up with the money to pay them. I mean, I would never ask somebody to come race and then qualify bad or have a bad lap or something and then have to park it. We might get to that point, but we'll still run a B main features. They'll get a feature every time with the Wheelman Series.
So all these new tracks you have for 2023, which event are you most looking forward to?
It's a toss-up. So I fell in love with Kalamazoo, to be honest. We ran that last year for the first time, and it's jaw-dropping standing in the pit tower watching the race. I mean, it's just a completely different view. Of course, for most fans or people don't get that view, but I just fell in love with the facility, all being all paved, and you can stage real easy, and the scales are awesome. And I would say out of the new tracks, Jennerstown's probably the one I'm most excited about. Mike Bellardi over there and myself, we've developed a pretty good relationship, and we chat daily almost. And he's sending us more tickets to give away on our lives. And it's just the excitement over there. I think the people are just so excited. We did a radio broadcast on one of their local talk shows or radio shows over there. And just the excitement building up to Jennerstown, I think is what makes it really exciting to go.
If one of our listeners wants to look at your rules, where can they find them?
It's simple. OhioWheelmanSeries.com is the easiest way. You can also check us out on Facebook at Ohio Wheelman Series. Stay up to date with all the latest and greatest stuff. We do lives on every other Wednesday through the winter, and then we do weekly lives 8 o'clock on Wednesdays through the summer every week. So
you get a lot of response from that.
Yeah, I mean, my best this year as far as listeners live was 150, I believe. That was the day we announced the modified series, so that was to be expected. Our average is probably 30 to 50, somewhere in there, but we get about 3,000 views by the end of the day, or by the next day. So people watch us.
That's awesome. I was actually going to mention about your show there and that you do on a regular basis. Doug Doc helped you out with that?
Yes, he does. And the cool part is this actually starting at this to the 25th is going to be our first time. So we partnered up with WOBL.com, WORadio.com. Gary Tollett, the owner, him and I became very good friends over the last couple of years, and they're the official radio station of the series. So our lives will be live on the radio starting Wednesday, the 25th.
Awesome.
And so we'll be on the radio. You can follow us anywhere in the country. You just got to go on to WOBLradio.com, or you can go to your mobile app store and download the app, and you can listen to us live anywhere in the country. The cool part is if you can't follow us live, you can also tune in, and he will also be at all of our events live, so you can listen to us play by play on the radio every week.
All right, I have one last question for you. And
Shoot.
We talked about getting some of the dirt drivers over onto your series on the asphalt. Has there been any dirt tracks that have approached you about bringing your series for a special event? Like ARCA does with DuQuoin.
Well, I was going to ask him if he had any thoughts of maybe trying a dirt show or two.
Yeah.
So me personally, I would absolutely love it, and I would be totally open. Again, I don't dictate. I try not to dictate anything in the series. I talk to the drivers, I talk to my staff, and we discuss it as a whole to make sure. Number one, I don't like to put on a bad show, I guess, or car counts. I like to make sure these guys are committed. I've got a great group of guys that if they say they'll be there, they're coming. So if I can get a group of guys to commit, which I probably could. So I'd be open. I have not had any tracks reach out to me as far as dirt goes to run us. This was actually the first year I had tracks actually reach out to me to run us. So I guess it's coming maybe.
It's a good position to be in. And Fremont Speedway just had in October a deal where they have their dirt trucks. They invited the Oakshade Raceway Super Stocks and the Toledo Speedway Factory Stocks to race all together in one class.
A combined class.
And it worked out pretty well. Maybe we can get the.
No, it was a great race, Scott. It was fun to watch, and with all the trash talking before, all the classes were melded together,
yeah.
and good.
And
everybody was competitive,
and there was a lot of competitors from Oakshade and Fremont. The asphalt folks were a little lacking. Probably could have used some more representation there, and it'd be cool to see some of those guys throw some dirt tires on and hopefully not come and clean our clocks.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I think the dirt street stocks would clean us up any day of the week, on dirt for sure. They're a lot more flexible than we are. So
right.
I would be open to it with the series.
Show to dirt, yeah.
Yeah, now that I would totally be into. I don't know if I could get everybody to commit knowing that the local boys were going to run with us too, because we just can't get our cars that flexible without serious work.
Gotcha. And
we run a stiffer chassis on asphalt, so.
And the biggest thing I hear from the asphalt guys when try and ask them about racing on dirt, they hate washing their cars the day after. They don't like dirty cars.
They like to keep them nice. If you look at the cars in our series, I don't think there's one eyesore in the whole series. These guys really take pride in keeping their cars clean, and even if they get tire marked or sticker gets scuffed, they're usually pretty on top of it. So that's cool to see. They take pride in their cars too as we travel, represent well.
I don't think I've seen any of the pictures I've seen of the Ohio Wheelman Series cars. They're pristine.
They look good.
Yeah.
And they're all different. They're not just Monte Carlos or Camaros. You see all kinds of different style bodies racing with us. So I don't necessarily have there's body rules. You're not allowed to throw a late model body on, but we do have some bodies you're allowed to buy. Some of the aftermarket ones we do allow. And then some guys get creative. We had one guy making El Camino this year. It was kind of neat. So we got the old Merc that runs with us, and everybody loves that car when it shows up. We've got all different couple Chevelles and just different cars. It's cool to see.
So when again is the opener?
The opener is May 6th, Jennerstown Speedway. Super excited. We'll be there practicing. We'll be there camping. I know there's a bunch of people planning on camping and hanging out and stuff. So definitely make sure you guys come out. Tune in my show Wednesday. We'll be giving away tickets for the season opener at Jennerstown, and we've got a lot of cool stuff to give away anyways each week. So
That's all. How many total races for the stocks?
10. 10's the magic number I found with these guys. As far as affordability and them being able to have their summers to spend with family and do things, it's tends to seem to be the magic number with them. So we'll
when's
probably
the last
stick
race?
to 10 or 12. September 29th through
Okay.
October 1st. It's Sandusky Cavalcade
Okay. Yep.
for both series, the modifieds and the street stocks. That'll be our championship night.
There you go.
And you're gearing towards 10 shows for the mods too?
Well, this year we'll stick to 4, maybe 5 if I get an interest from another track. We do have some opening in our schedules if somebody would like to run the modifieds this year. But 10 with the street stocks. If I have room for one more show, I would be willing to take if it was, the right place, I guess, the right time. Schedule's tough. That's what most people don't realize is trying to be a series and go into a facility and just saying, hey, this is the date we'd like to have. Well, I don't think I've ever got the date I'd like to have in going in my 3rd season running a schedule. So I have it all mapped out before I call anybody every other week and planned out perfectly. And then by the time you get to your second event, it's you're moving all of them around. So it is what it is. It's a lot of fun trying to jog things around and work with all these different guys and get schedules to work out. So. But it's not as easy as people think when they get.
Are you going to still have time to do racing this year?
So this year I'm going to step aside. I mean, I'll race still a couple. I'm not running for points or nowhere, specifically. I'll run where I can, and if it's close by or whatever. And but as far as seasonal, running all year, I might run 2, 3, 4 times tops. Personally, my cars will both still run the series. We're working on both of them right now. I'll have drivers, Sam Bingham and Stefan Schlee will be driving those still, same drivers as last year. And, so we're expecting to have a lot of fun.
And as I recall, last time we spoke to you, I believe it was August of 21. You said you have your own officiating crew that handles everything for the Ohio Wheelman Series.
Yeah, so we come fully staffed. I mean, we have our own race director. I bring my own scales, my own ramps, my own everything. I mean, we have our own tech area. I have a jig we use for the cars to check track with, wheelbase, frame height, the whole deal, spoiler height, roof height. I mean, it's very simple. Everybody drives through, and it's just fits right over the cars, and boom, 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 next one. And but yeah, we come fully staffed. We bring our own tires. We bring a tire guy. We bring, everything you could think of. We have pit stewards, and the only thing we use is their safety crew, the track, and that's it. We have our own announcer. Our flagman, is, going to be hit or miss a little bit this year due to some health issues. He's going through some personal stuff, but if he's able to, he will be up on that stand. If not, we'll just, we'll use the tracks or whoever, we have a couple people interested. So
all you guys, you just need a circle to race on.
Yeah, man, we just need some lights and a circle and and somebody to take our money when we pull in,
Nice. OhioWheelmanSeries.com. That's the website that's got the schedule for both the modifieds and the Super Series.
Yep. Yeah, both schedules are on there. And, we'll have the modified schedule's not fully updated. We just announced another date my last show, and I've got the last date to announce on the 25th. So all of our scheduled dates will be announced. The 4 dates will be announced on Wednesday, the 25th will be their final date. So that'll all be updated, but the street stock schedule's fully updated. The rules are on there, registrations, the forms are all on there. You've got, if you want to know where our track records, who holds the track records, what times they are, that's all on there. Our points champions are on there, past 2 champions. And so there's a lot of information on there. So check out.
Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure, and we wish you the best of luck here in 2023 with the Ohio Wheelman Series.
Keep up the good work.
It's been awesome having you guys have me on. I appreciate the shout outs and stuff for the series, and we look forward to another successful season. Keep watching.
All right,
Will
man.
Wiggins, thank you very much.
Keep in touch.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Yep, you too. There you go. Will Wiggins, the owner and creator of the Ohio Wheelman Series, which is it's
Scott,
cool.
Their purses are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, great pay, Great looking cars, great racing. I haven't seen one of the races, but I have heard about it. But yeah, and you went. Was it at Sandusky? You saw them?
Yes.
Okay. How many cars did they have?
15, 18 for sure.
So a decent field.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Was that a 2,000, 2,500 to win?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fair enough. Give Big D's Pizza in Clyde a call right now, 419-547-1444, or order online at orderbigdspizza.com. Get the Chicken Wings Facebook special. It's 10 jumbo wings, your choice of sauce for just $8.99. Follow on Facebook for the latest specials. Let's follow Big D's on Facebook. Big D's in Clyde, big on taste, not on price. And make sure to contact Ryan Miller Race Cars, 734-856-7223. That's 856-RACE.
It is.
He's not busy at all. He
Right.
said he came in tonight and he's like, man, I'm getting too much sleep.
This feels good. Just sitting here.
Give him a call for race cars, parts, safety, equipment, service, anything racer needs. He's got it or can get it, or he'll put it together for you. So there you go. Don't fall asleep, Ron.
No, I was just looking at Dean Henry's post about Volusia County and a couple of his favorite drivers.
Yeah. I saw what Nick Hoffman won heat, I think Dave had said here.
Dave said.
Let me scroll back up. Yeah, Nick Hoffman wins his heat race at Volusia. That's his first race in the Ty-Torg number 9 late model, running with the World of Outlaws. Devin Moran wins the third heat, so interesting stuff there. I think Hoffman was fastest last night in practice, too,
Right.
down there at Volusia. Got a little bit of racing news to get to before we give away some stuff.
Latest racing news.
And the owner of Crystal Motor Speedway in Crystal, Michigan, announced that the speedway has been purchased by Jacob LeBaron and Steve Vernon. Brian LeBaron will be the promoter / general manager of the track.
The Flynn's have owned that racetrack for a long time and have done a good job with it.
The Great Lakes Sprint Series and Traditional Sprint Series have released their schedules for 2023. The GLSS and NAR Sprint Warriors, formerly the, what were they? The NRA 360 Sprint Invaders, which was purchased by Barry Marlowe and the GLSS. They're going to have a combined schedule with events in Ohio, Michigan, and Tennessee. They're going to appear at Waynesfield Raceway Park 4 times, April 8th, May 28th, July 3rd, and October 7th. Fremont Speedway, they'll be there on July 29th. Butler Motor Speedway on June 17th and August 19th. Limaland Motorsports Park, total 10 times throughout the season. The traditional sprints will appear at Waynesfield Raceway Park also on April 8th. May 28th, July 3rd, and October 7th. Fremont Speedway, May 27th and July 1st. And Butler Motor Speedway on June 3rd and July 29th. The traditional sprints also at Limaland on June 2nd and July 28th.
That's a pretty full schedule.
Yeah. So
I didn't hear anything about that place where you announce.
No.
And I know the fans keep yelling for sprint cars, so.
And I know, yes, I can't say anything. I've heard some things from one side, but not the other side. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, there's definitely interest in some form of sprint cars at
Absolutely.
that racetrack that starts with an O.
Okay.
Speaking of open wheel stuff, Chili Bowl Nationals, did you get to watch a lot of that? Any of that?
Quite a bit, yeah.
Okay. Did you
They were responsible for me not getting to bed till 2 in the morning.
Yeah. Did you catch the interview they aired with Jack Hewitt?
You know, you gave me a little tease early on tonight. No, I didn't see it, but anything Jack Hewitt has to say is bound to be entertaining.
Well, he let his feelings be known about Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell skipping out on the event this year. Check it out.
We're missing guys like Larson and Bell, but there's still guys that are rising to the top.
No, we're not. Not missing a bit, To me, you got to pick your battle. Now, if Kyle would have said, hey, I want to go run late model, go run late model. Don't badmouth the Chili Bowl. If he boycotted because of money, there's 325 mid-tier. The crowd is already sold out. The grandstands are sold out on the thing. Who gives a shit if he's here or not, you know? And I'm a Kyle Larson fan. I like how, but him and Christopher Bell don't know how to pick their battles, you know? You pick something that's going to make a difference. In fact, him and Han don't give a shit what Kyle Larson thinks, and neither they won't be missed after Saturday night. Nobody will be talking about him. They'll be talking who won the Chili Bowl.
Yeah.
And then I saw on social media a picture of his van on fire on the side of a road. I guess nobody was hurt, but they lost some stuff that was in the van.
You're talking Jack Hewitt?
Jack Hewitt's, yeah,
Okay.
on the way back. And then I was immediately thinking, conspiracy? Did Kyle Larson have something to do with that? Did Christopher Bell? What happened? I could not confirm any of those conspiracies.
You know, Scott, what Hewitt had to say kind of carries over to a lot of what's going on in the late model world with the traveling series right now. Everybody's, you know, oh, this guy's going here, that guy's going there, that series is going to fold. And no, it's not. But, you know, I don't think one or two drivers is going to make or break any of those series.
Attica Raceway Park, Fremont Speedway, and the AFCS Sprint Car Series officials have made the decision not to allow wing sliders on the 305 sprint cars again this year in 2023. The decision is based on supplier issues and the short time until Attica and Fremont open. The rule change will be revisited toward the end of the season. I didn't realize the 305s didn't have the
wing sliders.
The wing adjustment slider things.
Well, they're adjustable. You just can't do it with a lever. You have to wait till the next race.
You can't do it while you're racing.
Right.
Gotcha. In a series first, NASCAR will award medals to the top three finishers in a cup race. The medals will be presented after the February 5th Busch Clash at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. The medal ceremony will take place on a podium in Victory Lane, which will be located beneath the Olympic Cauldron at the Coliseum.
So we're going to have podium finishes all year.
I think it's just for the Clash.
Oh, okay.
Because it's got to be a spectacle. I think I also read that I think it's Wiz Khalifa is the music entertainment for that. I didn't put that in my notes because it's apparently targeting a whole different audience than ours.
Yeah.
You're a big Wiz Khalifa fan, aren't you?
Who?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Go back to Dolly Parton. Casey Kane and Amy Long welcomed a baby daughter this past week, and reminded me that Kyle Larson and Caitlin Larson also had a baby, their third child, on New Year's Eve.
Well, maybe that's why they haven't been racing as much. Take that, Jack Hewitt.
Well, except for Kyle Larson was running the late model at the Wild West Shootout. Take that, Ron Miller. SRX drivers have been, or some of them have been announced, I should say. Kevin Harvick, Clint Boyer, and Kyle Busch are going to make their debut running a few SRX series events this summer. Helio Castroneves is going to be back running some events as well.
The crowd loves Helio.
Yeah, I don't think they're running the full event.
Right.
It was just a handful for some, a couple for others, as they continue to announce things as far as that goes. So I don't know who's going to be running for the points yet. That'll be interesting. See if Paul Tracy's going to be back.
Maybe nobody.
Yeah. Well, you know Tony is. Speaking of drivers, Bobby Pierce will become a full-time driver in the World of Outlaws Case Construction Late Model Series in 2023. He already has 89 starts with the World of Outlaws, not including tonight. I guess tonight would be 90. He's captured 4 wins, 2 in 2021 and a couple in 2022. Not being a full-time.
In a Longhorn chassis, and he could be a force to be reckoned with this year.
Yeah. And he's run the Hell Tour for how many years now?
Right.
So I'm guessing he's probably not going to be running the Hell Tour.
I'm sure.
NASCAR announced some weird rules this week. I know, it's surprising.
Yeah.
NASCAR and weird, something never
Synonymous
mentioned together.
with each other.
Drivers are now required to wear head socks and or helmet skirts, underwear, and socks. Before they were only recommended. And then I guess Hanes, who makes underwear,
Right.
On their Twitter account, they saw the opportunity to ask, who is racing without socks and underwear? They also added
I'm
NASCAR. We
I'm
need to know the
thinking-
backstory on this.
Yeah.
You're thinking what?
Well, I mean, obviously, NASCAR was talking about fire retardant.
Well, yeah, but still.
Maybe Haynes will see an opportunity and start marketing.
Fire retardant underwear.
Yeah.
You can be like Kyle Busch. Wear Kyle's underwear. That's too weird.
They already make fire retardant bras for the women, Scott.
I never even thought about that.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to.
You don't want to burn those.
No, you got to keep the tatas safe.
Wow. No hammer down hotline this week. If you do want to call, 419-318-3081. It's 419-318-3081. Call, let us know who you think, call or text. Let us know who you think was running without underwear in the NASCAR Cup Series.
No underwear.
Yeah. How about we give away some pizza? Yes?
Yes.
How many?
So last week's, actually it was a couple weeks ago because originally we weren't going to have a show last week.
It went on for about a month.
Yeah. Was going to be the total flip count from the Chili Bowl Nationals. Unfortunately, they stopped counting the flips after that crazy ejection flip on Wednesday night halfway through where they stopped at 30 or right around 30. So, and then they never mentioned the count.
Really?
Beyond that, at least not when I was watching, and the Twitter account that was tracking those kind of stopped as well.
Huh.
So the only fair thing I could think of to do was
give everybody a pizza.
That did come to mind, but Dean was not down with that. So what I came up with was to give everyone a fair shot at winning a Big D's pizza. So we put everybody who entered on to the Big D's pizza wheel. Yeah. So it'll be a totally random. If you put a guess in, you're on the wheel, including Dean Henry himself. So here we go for a Big D's pizza from how many a couple weeks ago. Looks like it's going to be Chris Rutan. I think he just won recently, too. So congratulations, Chris. You, my friend, the winner. I was just thinking Big D sounds really good.
Yeah.
I think John Young just went there this past weekend.
Oh, no.
Planning on, yeah. So congratulations, Chris. You have 30 days to claim your pizza. Get with me or Dean or give Big D's a call and get that set up. This week's How Many? And a chance to win a Big D's pizza, which we'll find out the winner next week, as a matter of fact.
We will.
We will. Saturday night, Volusia. How many World All Late Models will be there on Saturday night? A good indicator maybe how many are there tonight or Friday night as the, what is it, the Sunshine Nationals? Yeah, Sunshine Nationals are going on. So if you know, then you have a good shot of winning. Put the guess in the comments. Chris says this is his first time winning. I think you just probably weren't listening.
He missed his pizza.
Yes. Put your guess in the comments as far as how many late models are going to be there on Saturday night. Some could wreck and pull out, tonight or tomorrow night.
Some guys are
or maybe some guys
Saturday
are
night racers.
Maybe their car's not ready yet. But, yeah. So if you want a shot at that Big D's Pizza, put your guess in the comments of our Facebook Live or YouTube Live. If you're listening to us on the podcast, just the audio and not live, you can still get your guess in. Just find our Facebook Live or YouTube Live and put your
Scott,
guess in the comments before noon on Saturday.
You picked less than me, so you have to go first.
I didn't see how many entries were there. I didn't cheat on this. Dean says 45, and he's usually pretty good. So I'm gonna go with what Dean's got there.
You said 45.
Yes.
I got to go 44. You know
Really?
that. Oh, yeah.
I figured you might go the other way.
Nah.
All right. It's probably a safe guess. So we'll find out who the winner is next week on the show.
This weekend's Big D's Pizza Racing Menu.
That's what I was looking for. This weekend's racing menu, of course, tonight, it's Volusia Speedway Park in Florida, Sunshine Nationals for the World of Outlaws. That is tonight through Saturday night. And then next week, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series kicks off their season at Golden Isle Speedway, Wednesday night practice night. And then they're there Thursday through Saturday for the, quote, Super Bowl of Racing, which I was pretty sure you cannot use that. The NFL has exclusive rights to Super Bowl. Yeah. That's why when you hear all these promotions for like TVs or appliance places, we're having they come up with the big game special or something because they can't use Super Bowl to promote their event because the NFL owns that. So I was kind of curious how. And this is on their website. So
it works out.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the NFL's not coming down on Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Maybe they got a deal with them. I don't know. Just was interesting. It was one of those things when working in radio, you had to be careful. Any promotions we did, we could not say Super Bowl. But you can talk about the Super Bowl as an event, as an editorial. You just can't use it for promoting a particular thing.
Maybe Lucas Oil has dipped in the NFL.
Football? Maybe. I think I did hear they may do the AFC Championship game at in Atlanta, which is Georgia, where this race is. I'm trying to make some kind of connection.
And Lucas Oil Stadium.
Lucas Oil Stadium. That's at Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not in it. Whatever. So that's your Big D's pizza racing menu for this weekend. No weekend weather pit stop until we get some stuff locally. It's raining tonight anyways. If you're in Northwest Ohio, there's your Big D's pizza, whatever. Next week, I'm out of town, but we're still going to have next week.
Yes, we are.
I'm excited about this. Our guest on the show next Thursday night is going to be the Charlie You Can't Park There Mefford.
Yep. Hey, you can't park there.
If you watch the Gateway Dirt Nationals, you know Charlie Mefford. He gained a lot of fame after he rolled his modified over, got up into the wall and flipped that over, and he's a character. Looking forward to that conversation.
It ought to be a lot of fun.
So we'll have that for you next Thursday night at 9 o'clock. Thanks to our associate producer, Dave Kemmer, contributors Matt Swander, John Young, Doug Dock, Bob Stazak. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Hammer Report. YouTube, follow us there. Listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Check us out at hammerdownracingreport.com. You want to be a sponsor? We got information on there. We got room for sponsors. Also, make sure to rate and review us. Share us with your friends. That helps us out as well. Thanks to all our sponsors, Big D's Pizza, Oakshade Raceway, Ryan Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos, Headhunters, Barber Studio, and Salon. Thanks to this week's guest, Will Wiggins, and the Ohio Wheelman Series. Again, back next Thursday night with Charlie Mefford. See you next Thursday.
Maybe we could get Kenny Wallace to come on with Charlie Mefford.
We would have to book out a couple hours worth of time for that, I think.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. See you next Thursday, 7 o'clock. We're out. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, folks.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.